Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Coreys and Casey Claxon.
Welcome to Talkin' Football from WTNS. Casey Claxon back with Cooz, Steve Coreys. Talkin' Football is brought to you each and every week by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most. We are filming today on Wednesday evening at the time of this recording from the Coshocton County Fair. It doesn't feel like fair weather, but it's nice and hot, you know?
You hit it right. It is nice and hot, but I'm not going to complain because I know what's coming.
Well, we were talking to some of the guys earlier about how it used to be cold whenever you were at the fair. When you were younger, winter coats?
There were times, and the one thing we talked about, I can remember going home from the fair, and you'd be jumping in the leaf piles. They haven't even turned yet. So.
Right. But we are glad to be here. We're in front of the Coshocton Regional Medical Center booth out at the fair, so hopefully you got to stop by and say hi to those folks out here this week. But let's talk football. Last week you had Riverview Black Bears taking on Thornville Sheridan, another tough night for the Black Bears out there at Don Rushing Stadium.
Yeah, it really was. And I tell you what, Sheridan's got a good football team. They lost a couple games early to some really good teams, and they seem to have everything really in sync right now, and they got out of there with a win over the Bears.
Doesn't get any easier for Tyler McKee's Black Bears this Friday.
No, it really doesn't. This week they get Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley is a young team, but they've got some outstanding athletes, and they're going to throw it up in the air quite a bit. And defensively, they're starting to hit their stride. They've lost a couple games, so they're vulnerable in spots. But I look for Tri-Valley to get the win.
We'll have two games coming up on Friday night on WTNS. We'll have a game on FM 99.3 as well as 102.7 FM. Let's start with the Coshocton Redskins. Jake Seidel and Gary Forbes will call that game at Stewart Field against Meadowbrook. That game will be on 102.7. You can listen in. It'll also be on our YouTube channel. But preview that matchup for Coshocton on Friday.
Well, it's an interesting matchup. Before last week, I would have said this is going to be a game that's going to go down to the wire, and it still may. But Meadowbrook, I really think I've surprised everybody by beating John Glenn by 2 or 3 scores and really look good doing it. So, you got to decide which Meadowbrook are you going to get. It's at Coshocton. It is homecoming, so there's a little bit of emphasis on that for the Redskins. So, be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah. The other game we'll have on Friday night on FM 99.3, Chris and Cooz will call the Ridgewood Generals game against Sandy Valley. We will preview that game and have more, including our question for Cooz, and it is fair related. So that's coming up right after this message from Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
Don received the best care that I think he possibly could have. Don and I both really felt that they were part of our family and we were part of their family.
I feel like I'm seen, or my kids are seen, and they generally want to hear what's wrong and they want to help however they can.
I want to be able to support an organization that's giving back to the community, that's part of my community. If that's a hospital, Coshocton Hospital is going to be my choice.
Friday night, the Ridgewood Generals welcome the winless Sandy Valley Cardinals. Cooz, you'll call that game on Friday. Give us a preview.
Well, it's one of those games that, historically is not a bad matchup. But Sandy Valley lost a ton of kids alive from a year ago, and Ridgewood's Ridgewood. They're going to come right out after them, and I really look for the Generals to take care of business pretty early in that game and get out of there with a win. I
know they don't want to look ahead at week 8, 9, or 10 of their schedule. They do have to take care of business on Friday.
They do, and that's looming out there. Indian Valley is an outstanding team, and it's a game we'll be covering as well, and it's a game we're looking forward to doing. But I just think even with that, I don't think they'll have any problem on Friday night.
So we'll have the game coming up on Friday. Again, Chris Wallace, Steve Coreys will have the play-by-play. Pre-game show starting at 6:30, kickoff at 7, and we will stream the game live on the WTNS YouTube channel. Again, the Ridgewood game will be on FM 99.3 and the Coshocton game on 102.7 FM and AM 1560. All right, let's go to our question for Cooz, and we do have a fair-related question. I did run this one by Cooz earlier, so he could think about it a little bit. But so Cooz, here's my question for you this week. So back whenever you were young, and if you were coming to the fair, this is a would you rather question. So if you were at the fair when you were young, would you rather ride a bull or drive in the rough truck contest? Is it ride a bull or have to drive in the rough truck contest?
You know what? He even gave me fair warning on this question.
Yes.
I will tell you this. You know, when I lived in Texas and was down there for 6 years, I went to a couple rodeos while I was there. I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't getting on one of those bulls. That didn't happen.
So not on a bull, not even when you were young.
Not even any time.
So I guess that means you're driving in the rough truck
Well, it
contest.
doesn't necessarily mean that either. But,
Oh, okay.
If the two, I can always just drive right out the gate and be okay.
I could see you doing that. Just drive right on out. It's like, I'm out, folks. Or, blow the engine. I don't know what happened. This is Talkin' Football, brought to you by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most.
Talking Football is a production of WTNS Sports and Claxon Communications.